On September 16th, 1932, Peg Entwistle told her uncle she was going to the drugstore and see some friends. Instead, she walked up Mount Lee to the Hollywood sign. There, behind the letter H, she found a workman's ladder, and she climbed to the top, and she threw herself off. Like so many others, she'd come to Hollywood seeking fame, fortune, stardom, which eluded her. But at some point prior to that, a man walked up to her and recognized her probably as a star to him. Presented her with a picture and said, "Miss Entwistle, would you sign this?" And on it she wrote, "To Mr. Sanford, very sincerely, Peg Entwistle." That photo's in the collection. I'm Tom Gregory. Welcome to my auction. I was born in Camden, New Jersey in 1960. Terrible town, as far from Hollywood as you can imagine. Well, anyway, we lived in a duplex. My father, my two older brothers, and myself, and my mother. And on the other side of that duplex, my grandmother, my mother's mother, lived. She would do the breakfast dishes at the kitchen sink in front of an open window. And she'd be talking to her mother, who was doing the same thing on the other side of the duplex, about the afternoon movie. So I would hear these names of movie stars like Tyrone Power and Joan Crawford and Gene Tierney echoing through the house into the living room where I was sitting, probably watching my morning cartoons. I was thinking, who are these people that my grandmother and mother are talking about that are holding their attention so much? And my grandmother moved away from the other side of the duplex, and she moved into a rural area called Dividing Creek, New Jersey, into this house. And the previous owner had left behind a shoebox full of what were autographed photos. Well, I grabbed these things. I was like, what's this? And I remember looking through the box, and there was a signed photo of Dorothy Lamour, and it said, "All good wishes, Dottie Lamour." And I was amazed. You know, here I was touching something that Dottie Lamour had touched. So I was hooked. In curating the collection across my lifetime, I made a lot of mistakes. One thing I decided early on was I like the oversized formats, especially of the more common stars that you can find. You know, the Betty Davis, the Marlene Dietrich, even the Rita Hayworth, even Jean Harlow. I love the larger format photos, and they were so beautiful, and the finishes were so stunning. They did them so beautifully in the 30s and 40s photographs. But moreover, though, I like a photo of someone whose work speaks to me, who changes me, who I can look at their photo on my wall or in a book and remember how they altered my life. I think of, you know, the lessons of vanity I learned from Betty Davis in Of Human Bondage, or the horror of war we learned from Gone with the Wind, or even the backstory of racism from a picture of Hattie McDaniel. One of the coolest things in the collection is sort of the subcategory of horror. I've really made that a point to try to get the great horror icons. There's a great Bela Lugosi where he signs at Dracula. There's a great Boris Karloff. There's even Michael Landon as the Wolfman. There's Lon Chaney Jr. as the Wolfman. My favorite photo in the collection, though, is one I got of Greta Garbo. It's signed to Eva von Bern, Greta Garbo. Eva von Bern was a Viennese actress that was discovered by Irving Thalberg and Norma Shear, and she was brought to Hollywood. They put her in one film, and the rumor is she got a terrible review. Well, the story goes that she went back to Vienna and she killed herself, but the truth is she remained, and she lived quite a long time. I think she lived to be over 100 years old. Well, this was her personal photograph from Greta Garbo, and I love it because it speaks to the want of someone coming to Hollywood, trying to be a star, getting a photo from the biggest star in the world. It's just the clash of the normal citizen with this superstar, and it just explodes in this beautiful image with this bold inscription. Over 50 years of collecting, a lifetime of changes, and the only thing that's remained consistent has been this collection. The stories, the Hollywood stories that have changed me, moved me, given me really a better life. It's made me a better person. I hope if you buy something, it does the same for you. Hang it on the wall and hang the story in your heart. I'm Tom Gregory. Thank you so much.